try to 안녕하세요.
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 Good morning.
안녕하세요.
Good morning. Welcome to Korea, and I really appreciate about join this conference, exciting conference, and communicate with the directory with the Protocolabs people. So, what's your name?
Stefan Vervat.
Stefan. Okay.
Brenda Lee.
Okay. What kind of job in the Protocolabs?
So my responsibility is to grow the storage provider ecosystem.
Ecosystem
Yeah.
supporting. Okay.
Was that?
Yeah, ecosystem supporting, grow
Yeah.
the ecosystem.
So head of storage provider ecosystem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of?
And I'm a product manager on the protocol side, so I work on like storage and retrieval markets mostly.
이분은 그 스토리지 환경을 이제 성장시키는데 서포트하시는 분이고 스테판이고 리는 이제 그런 제품화시키고 이제 사업화하는 거 지원하는 그런 분들입니다. Okay, this is first time in Korea.
First time, and I'm very excited.
You are 10 years ago.
Yeah, I came 10 years ago. I'm very happy to be back.
이분은 10년 전에 오셨었고 이분은 이제 처음 오신 겁니다. So how do you think about the impression in Korea? First impression.
It's great. I'm impressed. So many people that are supporting the Falcon ecosystem, and it was raining a lot this week. So I didn't know that. But no, it's amazing. Yeah.
이분이 처음 오셔가지고 굉장히 그 한국 그 파일코인 또 IPFS 스토리지 생태계 지원하려고 많은 사람 노력하는 거고 굉장히 놀랬고 좋게 받아들였고요. 지난주에 이제 비가 너무 많이 와서 또 깜짝 놀랐다고 하십니다. Okay, so how do you think about the IPFS market and the business in Korea?
I think in general, IPFS and Falcon, we're seeing a tremendous demand in general across the world. I mean, Korea itself, we are seeing 10% of the total miner IDs globally are based in Korea, which is incredible.
Okay,
That's amazing.
Yeah.
okay. 지금 전 세계적으로 이제 IPFS 파일코인 스토리지가 성장하고 있는데 전 세계 그 퍼센트 중에 10% 이상이 지금 한국이기 때문에 굉장히 급성장하고 있다고 생각하고 계십니다. So, what kind of opportunity in this show and so conference in Korea? So, what kind of thing about this conference, Protocolabs?
Well, personally, I'm really happy to be here and to learn from the community here because, like, I don't interact with the Asian community as much, and so really learning about what the issues are, like what can be helpful, can be really great for our product development and our protocol development. So personally for me, I think that's great. And then I really also like learning about the storage provider side because that's really a huge aspect of our network. So really glad to connect with the people here.
이번 행사를 통해서 이제 여기 그 파일코인 또 IPFS 커뮤니티 사람들하고 소통하고 커뮤니티를 이뤄나갈 수 있는 거에 대해서 굉장히 익사이팅하게 흥분되게 보고 계시고요. 그리고 이제 아무래도 많은 지원을 해야지 생태가 커지니까 이제 그 부분에 대한 이제 서포트를 이제 하겠다고 이렇게 얘기하십니다.
Can I ask something? So I think I'm excited, just like Brenda said, to connect with the local SPs,
Okay.
understand the requirements, and also this event for us is important because we want the storage providers to collaborate and meet each other.
Because
That
is
we
very
want to
important
build
point.
more community.
Yeah, right, correct. So 그래서 사실 이 IPFS 파일코인 그 사업자들이 이렇게 모인 적이 없었기 때문에 이분이 이제 생각하는 굉장히 중요한 어떤 포인트는 이번 행사의 포인트는 이렇게 같이 협력하고 같이 이제 네트워킹하는 그런 데 있다고 자기는 생각하신다는 거죠. Okay, so how about in US IPFS market is in US currently? Recently, how about the IPFS market in United States? United States movement.
Is your question? So in general, we've seen in the U.S. Definitely in the last, I would say, 10 to 12 months, an accelerated growth, and we're seeing not just net new storage providers coming on board, but we're seeing also customers like UC Berkeley, so large research institutes, cities like New York City, for example,
York
is
City.
storing open data sets. We have a couple of other cities lined up. We have media archives that are being stored, so there's genocide recordings that are being stored. We're working with multiple on multiple use cases where drone information, so drone companies,
Drone
that are
companies.
collecting data at the edge as well. We're seeing smart cities. So we're seeing a ton of opportunities across the board. Definitely in environments where customers really value long-term data preservation and that are doing machine learning, and they understand the value of storing data to eventually, run more compute, run more analytics on it in the future. So that's where we see a ton of
Okay,
interest.
I agree about that. So just nodes and some company increasing is not important in this time. Maybe usage and application is much important, right? 그러니까 지금 20개월, 10개월, 20개월 전보다는 사업자들은 굉장히 안 늘고 있는데 새로운 노드도 대신에 이제 전체 뉴욕시에서도 IPFS 쓰고 있고 뭐 인공지능, 뭐 드론 회사들도 쓰고 있고 그래서 미국 시장에서 굉장히 활발하게 IPFS 사용되고 있다는 거를 얘기하시는 거고요. 저도 뭐 그렇게 노드 확장되고 뭐 섹터 많아지는 것도 중요하지만 이제 그렇게 이제 환경이 에코시스템이 확장되는 게 중요하다고 이렇게 상의를 드렸습니다. Okay, so this is our first meetup in Korea, right? So have any plan for visit the Juan Bennett in here? So
visiting
Juan Bennett, your boss,
Oh.
your boss.
I mean, we can obviously, we will ask for sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
maybe we
I
should
think we have to do it.
Yeah, I
invite
think we
him.
Yes.
저 이렇게 후안 베넷 한번 올 수 없냐고 그랬더니 뭐 가서 물어보신다고 이렇게 얘기하시는.
We will communicate. We will send a message back for sure. Absolutely. He's traveling all the time, but we definitely will ask for him to come one time.
Okay, and
Next time.
so frankly speaking, I already explained about this point. In this kind of business, it's just focus on the mining side, then it makes a trouble and noise in the field. So already in Korea, many companies, storage providers, connect with the. You have heard about the pyramid? Multi-tier, some sales funds. So they just gather the money and share the money by the purchase some cryptocurrency Filecoin in the website and just transfer. So it makes a trouble. So I have one question. So do you have any idea or plan for the license or authorization for the miners and the storage providers? It means any people can just approach and make the nodes in this time, but it makes also together make the trouble together. So normally this kind of big project, then it have some process about some documents, something like that, and check the status, something like that. But this business and the IPFS, they don't have any process about that. So I believe it makes a trouble. So how do you think about that? Okay, in Korea first. 제가 뭘 여쭤봤냐면요. 지금 이 사업에 그런 다단계나 아니면 그 부적절하게 막 이렇게 창고에서 이렇게 사업하고 이런 사람들이 여러 문제를 많이 만들고 있는 걸 이미 알고 계시는데 혹시 그거에 대해서 이제 그런 그 라이센스나 승인 같은 거를 제도 다른 이제 큰 프로젝트는 막 사인도 하고 막 다 하거든요. 근데 이건 없잖아요. 그러니까 이게 문제를 만드는데 그런 그 계획이나 어떤 아이디어가 그 안에 있냐 이런 거 물어봤어요. 오케이.
Yeah. So we obviously our goal is to incentivize long-term storage providers that store real data. So a lot of our focus today is on enabling through incentive programs those storage providers and customers that are storing data for even longer than 6 months. So right now we are working on a proposal that's public to increase also the rewards for those customers that are storing data up to 5 years. And so you can now get a 50x multiplier, that's the proposal, 50x, 50 times more block rewards if you store customer data for 5 years. And the reason why we're implementing this is because it's impossible for us to put regulations or control, and that's also not something we want to do. The ecosystem should be free and should be able to innovate at their own terms. Unfortunately, some people are taking, different steps, but we don't want to engage with that. We want to focus on incentivizing the good behavior, and that's where all our programs right now are focused on, is enabling more storage providers to successfully take deals and bring customers to the network.
오케이, understand. 그러니까 이분 얘기가 중요한 부분입니다. 뭐냐면 그 파일코인 프로젝트, IPFS 프로젝트는 완전히 오픈되어 있는 거예요. 그러니까 오픈된 프로젝트를 통해서 대신에 6개월 이상 최소 6개월 이상 그 노드를 유지하게 만들고 실제 데이터가 들어가게 만들고 최장 5년까지 이제 계속 유지하게 만드는 걸 통해서 서포트하는 걸 통해서 이제 어떻게 보면 진짜 사업자가 갈리는 거예요. 이분 얘기대로 프로토콜랩스가 생각하는 건 단타성에 이렇게 짧은 시간에 뭐 하는 게 아니에요. 그러니까 장기적으로 노드를 건강하게 유지하고 실제 데이터가 이제 저장되는 것들이 이제 활성화되는 거를 지원하는 일들을 이분들이 하시는 거라는 거죠. 그래서 특별하게 라이센스나 어떤 그런 승인 같은 것들을 필요하지 않고 있다. 이런 대답을.
데이터 캡에 대해서.
예. And so one more question is how do you think what is a real purpose about the data cap?
Yeah.
So it means in this time just the data cap take the data cap and the selling by the data cap, then just increase the 10 times
Right.
sector size.
That's right.
But that is not a physical sectors, right? Logical is 10 times.
You're right.
Yeah, logical.
Yeah.
Logical.
So this program is continuously keep in this ecosystem.
Yeah. It will continue to run until there is no need to run it anymore. And so when we reach a point where customers or storage providers have uploaded that much amount of data and are self-sustaining, then Falcon Plus is no longer necessary. But up till now, there is no limit.
Understand.
Because we've only used, it's only used for less than 1%. So we have so much more capacity, and it's up to the ecosystem, to the community to decide what data should be stored and which LDN application is approved or not. So we don't control it. The ecosystem will eventually decide when it's a time to move on.
understand. 이게 굉장히 중요한 포인트인데요. 데이터 캡이 그럼 어떤 역할하고 그렇게 해서 우리가 10배 보상을 받지만 섹터가 늘어나도 쓸 수 없는 거 아니야? 맞다고 하시고 이거는 일종의 1%밖에 지금 못 쓰고 있대요. 전체의 운영자들이 1%밖에 못 쓰고 있는데 그거를 통해서 이제 파일코인 플러스를 통해서 어느 정도 실 데이터가 완전 안정화되고 많이 늘어날 때까지 그걸 운영을 하는 거예요. 이 프로그램을 통해서. 그래서 운영을 하면서 실 데이터들을 유도하고 그리고 이제 완전히 실 데이터가 이제 그 정착이 되게 되면 이제 그런 거 필요가 없는 거죠. 그 동안에는 그 공증인 제도나 이런 걸 통해서 데이터를 체크하고 그런 과정을 한다는 거죠. Okay, understand. And this is very important question for me. It means I'm an engineering part. So we're working so hard for the window post and some every update. But frankly speaking, each update makes the big trouble more and more. So we remember number 13. It's a huge disaster by our side. But our team is just 10 days ago, we working for that and the testing and the upload. But the network changing makes another trouble. So listen to 17, make the another message transport bug errors in there. You remember that? 1.17 make the big trouble. It is so anyway. it makes a trouble and burn our our Filecoin by that.
Yeah.
So how can we pay back or so? You don't have any problem about that? So I really wish to ask you about that.
We're in
This
this
one.
together.
Yeah.
We're in this together.
Okay,
That's what I
okay.
can
I
say.
explain about this one first. 네, 제가 이제 물어보고 싶었는데 아주 중요한 게 있는데 이게 뭐 맨날 업데이트하면은 문제가 돼가지고 그 막 버그 생기고 에러가 나오고 그래서 문제가 되고 해가지고 코인이 막 그 소각되고 했는데 그거에 대해서 인정하면 인정하고 그렇게 됐을 때 우리 뭐 어떻게 다시 돌려받을 방법 없냐 뭐 이런 얘기를 한 거죠. Okay.
Yeah, so
Do you have any problem about that?
so I'm on the engineering team, and I think there's many different things that we're working on, and I think the reason why we come to these events is because we want to understand like what your pain points are, and I think having this type of communication is very helpful. I think it's hard because we're also building something very new, and so we want to take your feedback and improve the tech and make it better. But sometimes in the process, it like ends up like a lot of the times, like while we do our testing and while we do our we don't have like as much scale. Like we don't have 22 petabytes of scale, and we don't have like the scale of a lot of the storage providers here. And so I think that's why we're very thankful that we have storage providers like you guys that are willing to upgrade to the new versions and report the issues when we run into them, so that we can better improve and learn from the past mistakes.
Okay.
But I think we're very sorry because it's a new technology. So when we do the development, we'll just run into more problems than I would say like a more traditional technology type solution. So I think I think we're going through the pain together, but it's also painful for us. So so thank you. But we really do appreciate your feedback. So if you have the feedback, like specific input, like do reach out and like in the working groups, like talk about it, post in the channels, and ask the questions, express your frustrations, because that's how we know. Because if you don't share, then we don't know. We think it's okay. And so yeah, I encourage you to.
We are understand about that. Our chairman just push to me.
He's asking the question.
We found the money issues.
So you have to be there.
Yeah.
뭐냐면, 그러니까 뭐 솔직히 이거 오픈된 프로젝트니까 뭐 우리 계좌가 뭔지도 모르고 주사 뭔지도 모르는 거죠. 그리고 이분들이 뭐 우리 쪽 그 노드 뭐 이런 거 알지도 못하고, 그러니까 피드백을 줘야 이제 알 수 있는 거고, 뭐 굉장히 죄송하고 그렇게 해서 저 소각되고 이런 거에 대해서 굉장히 고통스럽지만 자기네들도 고통스럽다 이거죠. 그런 일들을 만들어지고 또 개선하고 하는데 굉장한 노력을 지금 들이고 있다는 거예요. 그래서 가능하면은 이제 컨택 포인트를 가지고 이제 계속 이제 커뮤니케이션해서 앞으로는 문제가 없게.
Yeah. And I think like if we encourage you to share the feedback publicly.
Okay.
If you're comfortable, and if you're not comfortable, like sharing it
understandable.
publicly, like you can also share with me like privately. And I think public sharing is nice because other people might be running into the same problems.
I wish
and
that.
then it's helpful because then we can see there's like actually a lot of people running into this problem instead of one or two cases. So yeah, really encourage you to. I know it's like not always comfortable, but it's very helpful for us as an engineering team.
그러니까 이거를 문제가 생기고 하면 커뮤니티 사이트에서 이제 같이 공유하고 이렇게 하고 다른 사람들도 그 문제를 해결할 수 있게 공급하고 그러면 참 좋은데 뭐 어떤 데는 그런 걸 원치 않는 데도 있고 이렇다는 거죠. 근데 그거에 맞춰서 이렇게 할 수 있고 frankly speaking, so this is also business. So maybe every storage provider is compete with each other. So they close every data and the information with each other and just but I don't like that. This is open source project. Yeah, correct. So we must open and share and make the increase the ecosystem grow up much faster, and we need to share every benefit with each other. I believe that. 그래서 이거는 분명히 오픈 소스 프로젝트고 우리가 이걸 공유해서 같이 성장하는 쪽으로 해야지 어떤 이익이 된다고 해서 그 정보를 갖고 있고 하면 원래 이 프로젝트의 그 정신하고 위배된다 이렇게 얘기합니다.
Yeah, I want to comment on that because it is super important to not forget that the enemy is not necessarily another storage provider. It is the centralized solutions that are out there.
decentralized.
And the market is so unsaturated today, meaning there's so much more opportunity to go grab.
Yes.
That we should collaborate as much as we
you know,
can in this stage and actually in the future, because that will make the network successful, which eventually make every one of us successful. And that's also like what we've done in the US and Europe, where we've identified that storage providers were initially not working together because they were apprehensive, they're competitors. But then when we start pushing more data onto the network and enforcing the need to store 6 copies as part of the LDN process, then people started to collaborate because multiple storage providers now can store copies of their own customers with each other. And that builds a community that is much stronger than what you're seeing right now in just a traditional Web 2 world. And we gotta keep growing that.
이게 초기에는 서로 정보를 제한하고 서로 경쟁하고 할 수밖에 없었는데 점점 성장하면서 충분한 이제 그 값어치들이 늘어나기 때문에 충분히 공유하고 같이 이렇게 공개해도 괜찮고, 미국하고 유럽이 그렇게 분리되면서 서로 막 경쟁하고 했는데 이게 탈중앙화잖아요. 그러니까 6카피를 한번 저장할 때 서로 저장하기 때문에 이거 같이 사는 거다 이거죠. 그러니까 그런 식의 개념을 지금 이제 많이 성장시켜 놨다. Okay. So when you back to Singapore.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Singapore.
This weekend. We'll
Yes.
be there.
We can. I really wish to join the dinner and
Oh, you got dinner?
yeah, of course. In Korea cuisine is great, wonderful. So after the conference, then I really wish to invite us.
We'll come back. We'll definitely come
Yeah,
back.
we'll come
Absolutely.
back. I'm welcome.
I
Please
welcome
invite me back here.
You can always-
Okay.
We'll throw another. Yeah, this is our first of many to come. So we're
Yeah,
very
very
excited to come.
Okay.
I've never been here, so
Yeah,
I'm
we
excited
had
to grow.
we had
Okay.
barbecue the other day.
Yeah,
Korean
Korean barbecue.
Very good.
Korean
Yeah,
barbecue.
very
Very
good.
nice, and healthy.
Healthy, yeah.
Yeah.
It's clean.
저녁 식사 같이 하고 싶다고 그랬고 초대한다고 했고, 자기는 언제든 올 거고 이따 끝나고 한국 음식 참 맛있다고. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
Okay, 우리 사진 한번 찍죠, 사진 한번.
Thank you.
Okay, take the picture.
Oh, picture. Okay. You want to stand here? Or?
Yeah, stand here.
여기 먼저 한번 해주세요. 여기 먼저. 조금 볼게요.
Oh, a little bit
우리
like that.
부회장님 기억 있으니까 좀 뒤로 보시고. 자,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, fighting. 5 point fighting.
Fighting.
1, 2, 3.
Fighting.
Fighting.
Fighting. It's like
Fighting.
something like this.
Okay, 1, 2,
It's
3.
kind of like
Okay.
like let's go.
1, 2, 3.
Fighting.
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 One more.
Okay.
Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Fighting! Was it fighting?
Thank you.
It's fighting,
Thank you so
right?
much.
Yeah.